It was a ghost.
It's ghost ectoplasma. What are you talking about?
Imagine it is the black light on. God damn, and his room's just fucking fucked up. Welcome to the Cave Podcast.
Just cut
baby.
Curacao.
I just started. We're live.
Chargers Stadium.
I saw that go. That's pretty cool.
Yo. I got the sniffles. But I think everybody's got the sniffles around this time. And we're joined by Zack.
Everybody's had COVID.
Zack Byrne, a.k.a. John Cusack. John Cusack. Just kidding.
What up?
He looks like John Cusack. Right? We're joined by Zack Byrne, a.k.a. Feel the Burn in our community. And he is a friend of ours, longtime friend of ours. I'm going to leave it to him to give the intro. Zack, what's up, man? Welcome.
Happy to join the podcast finally. Y'all got me?
I hear you.
So, happy to finally get some time to join this thing. I know you guys been asking. So, here to hang out and just shoot the shit.
Hell yeah.
Well, thanks for coming out, bro. You know, it's going to be nice to just sit down and talk.
For sure.
We're here for the coveted prize. Had to show it on stream, show on the pod, just to see how Zack looks. How's the league going, guys?
I need that.
I heard it was up in the air. Pat said the way it's set up, it's kind of anybody's game right now.
Well, everyone goes to the fucking playoffs.
Which is unusual, right?
Yeah, I think I got
it doesn't usually run that way.
I got Allen this week. No, I mean it's pretty wide open. It's like really top heavy right now. I think there's like 4 of us that are like 5-3 or better. And I know I'm playing cut my balls this week.
I'm pretty top heavy myself.
I got a lot of people on buy. Hell yeah. I got a lot of people on buy.
He's tough.
Jermaine top.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna take care of something real quick. You guys keep going.
All right.
Anyways, yeah. I mean, I feel like
Jermaine just comes in.
Yep, all over. I feel like this fantasy league is the Bernie Sanders league because everyone goes to the playoffs. No matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you worked, he's still going.
Dude, low key, I wasn't a fan of that when Commissioner announced it. I was like, everyone makes tell why.
Good evening, Commissioner. Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, it is
up in the air. I'm excited. It was a close one the first time we played Zack. I think I came out winning close.
Right, I think so. You might have given me my first loss, I think.
Yeah. I remember that then.
I mean, it's cool. I guess at least everyone looks forward to playing all the way through, at least. You know what I mean? So, like people like myself with 2 wins.
True. And then in the playoffs, I mean, you never know. That's why it's important to keep playing every week.
Yeah.
I fucked up this week because...
you know who's going to be last for sure is Javon.
Yeah, he's sucking this week.
That fool's scary, man.
Not paying attention.
And that fool, he can still
make
playoffs, and he won't even play in the playoffs.
What?
Playoffs?
Yeah, but no, it's exciting. But I think low key, it's either Alan or myself that's going to take it.
Hoping to put a dent in that this week. I play Allen this week.
Yeah.
I think he's number 1 in the league, right?
I think so. Commissioner's going to have to change it because right now they're doing the divisions. And so once you get rid of the divisions,
that's right.
ESPN's it's like that. It's by default they do divisions. And I remember when you were in my league, you totally like get rid of the division. They're all like, okay.
Like, make it one division, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to do like East and West or whatever. Like just do one first place, second place, third place. And then the top.
Yeah, I remember when I first started playing with like friends, like I would separate the divisions by like favorite teams. And so it'd be like AFC, NFC, and then it'd be like everyone like AFC teams would be in AFC, and then anywhere not like the NFC teams would be NFC. But then it's like you like get these mismatched playoff rankings because of the divisional tiebreakers, and it's like, nah, just make it one division, and tiebreakers are the points.
Gotcha. You know what would be interesting? Something that maybe Andrew, because I know Andrew, he's not much into football, but if there's fantasy golf,
how would that work? If there were fantasy golf, please explain it, because I'm kind of clueless to how fantasy football works. So how would fantasy golf would work? Like analogously to
what's your fantasy?
I wanna hit
a hole in one.
Well, there kind of is there is a platform for fantasy, but the only way, for fantasy golf, the only place I've seen it though is on DraftKings. That's if you want to put money on it too. So what you do is you set up a lineup of X amount of players. I think it's like maybe 5 players. So you set up a lineup, and then you pretty much, depending on their performance, and I don't know how they do it, if it's all 4 days or just 1 day, I don't know. But depending on their performance, you get points, and depending on your room, the points and how much you score, that's where you place, and that's how much money you make in DraftKings. Now, if we were to do that, let's say in something like football, where they're season long, or basketball, baseball, where they have season long, I think you could maybe do it because they have the FedEx Cup, right? Am I right? That's for.
I did that already, but whatever.
I have no. See, that's where I'm I don't know.
I swear they did the FedEx Cup recently, or not recently.
I thought FedEx Cup was like the season long, and then that's what you win at the end.
Okay.
I think I may be wrong because I don't know golf, but where I'm going with it is for season long. Maybe in the beginning you set up, a room or a league with, maybe 8 guys or 8 players, and then you to do a draft. You pick, let's say, X amount of players, 5, 6 players for like, okay, these are my guys all year long, and then just throughout the season, or I don't know what they call it, you just make your trades, or if someone gets, because there are injuries in golf, someone gets injured, you could drop them. You just keep managing your team throughout the whole way. I think that's how they would do it. I may be wrong.
Takes account of all the scores throughout all the tournaments they've played through the whole season. Is that right?
Right. Okay. Or maybe there's ways to cut it up, because I don't know how long a season is.
I think golf is like year round. It doesn't matter.
Year round. So there you go.
Pretty much, it's just like fantasy tournaments.
Wait,
fantasy year round.
Is there already fantasy golf, or is this just an idea?
As Danny was explaining, kind of like on DraftKings, I guess you pick during tournament weekend, you kind of pick your top 5, which is Dylan, and Dylan.
It's a parlay. Hey, I saw there's a DraftKings for fucking WWE. How the fuck does that work? Or are they just sponsoring?
I don't know. That's for sure.
Are they just advertising? Yeah, that's I know, right?
But you can't do that here where we live in California. Not yet. Until
not yet.
I'm pretty sure it will.
Not yet.
Yeah. What prop is that? One 27. For like 27. Yeah, but like if you vote for that somehow, it sucks for Native Americans somehow or something.
Yeah, because now you don't go
TV.
to the casinos to make the bet. You can just make the bet on your phone, so they lose money.
You get that commercial, that Indian guy turning around with a tear in his eye for littering.
Please don't gamble.
Please don't play fantasy sports.
Wait, the Indian casinos got sport betting?
Please.
No.
Oh,
no, there's no.
Okay, so how's that? Okay, so see, I don't know.
Sorry, Chief. I want to get sports in California.
Super Bowl's on Sunday. Like, we got to bet on it. Like, what are we doing? No, I think how it works is Prop 27 is to legalize sports gambling. Like, so DraftKings comes in, all that. But Prop 26, I think, allows for card games at the Indian casinos. I don't think you can play live blackjack at Pachanga.
Ooh.
So I think it's that's how they're trying to get into it.
Casinos in California, I don't know if this applies to the Native American casinos, but you can do a lot of these table games, but they have to be card oriented. Like I'm a sucker for roulette, right? And
remember we had Pachanga? That shit was
yeah.
Yeah, same, dude.
You just have to turn it into a card game somehow, and then somehow it's legal in California.
I don't get that.
I've never gone to an Indian
loophole.
Yeah, neither have I.
Well, I mean, yeah. So roulette is card based. It's weird because I was watching Andrew play when we went to Pachanga. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this?
It was interesting to see him play when we went to Vegas for Jerezy's.
Oh yeah,
man.
And I saw he just.
How do you play? Do you bet on numbers, or you bet on just colors, or?
Yeah, how does that work?
It's still the same kind of concept, but instead of a ball that lands on a sector of a little spinny thing, there's another spinny thing, but at random when it stops, kind of like what's that game show? The Price is Right. You know that big wheel that comes. Yeah. Just imagine that big wheel, but it's rotating this way, and then when it finally stops,
big money.
The dealer pulls out the card that's in that position where it stops. And if it's red, if it's a 3 or whatever. So it basically uses cards to represent your numerical or color-based value. So it's kind of, it works. It works. It represents all the same values, but it's not a ball on a spinny thing.
It's like a...
If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. That sounds so fucking confusing. So it's like
playing roulette goldfish.
Yeah, it sounds like a
right. It's like picking a random card out of a deck.
Yeah.
So I feel like the odds would be there's more breathing room for you to get fucked over that way, right?
Definitely.
Not only is the wheel random, but the cards could be, yeah. Fuck that, man.
Yeah, I don't know how they load the wheels full of those cards, man, but...
Yeah, that's the thing is how loaded the wheel is. Because with the regular roulette, the slots are fixed. So they're not going to move. The ball is going to be when it hits something and lands in, the numbers and the codes in the wheel stay the same. But with this wheel thing, the Indian casinos, you could definitely load that.
Hey man, honestly,
but I saw Andrew winning on that shit. I was like, "Oh, okay, this might be something." Then he started losing. I was like, "Never mind."
For what we did to the Native Americans, bro, even, bro. You know what I mean?
You deserve the money.
We good?
It's kind of like their reparations, but it's coming from us. Which don't make no fucking sense. It's like, we didn't do this to you.
No, also, it's like, it's slowly getting taken away from. I feel like now, and you'll start to see it more in the future, that sports gambling is kind of being normalized now. You know what I mean? Right now, it's kind of the early phase of it. But bro, it's so weird now. It's so weird now, watching sports and then they show the odds on the bottom. What the fuck? Back then in the 90s growing up, you'd have to know someone who knows someone to be able to tell you those numbers. And then you'd have to know someone who knows someone to be able to tell you what the fuck those numbers mean. You know what I mean? So now it's just
you know the problem is going to come from that? As normalized as it's getting with sports gambling, I think we're going to see more fixed games.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just going to be like, nope. You know, I think, like I said, I think we were talking last time. I was like, anytime money's involved, some shit's fixed somehow.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So, they were somehow able to mathematically prove that even like professional sumo wrestling games in Japan, those were fixed. If you're fixing sumo wrestling in Japan...
I would know it's fixed if you got a guy like Danny going against Yokozuna. Danny kicks his ass. Like, that's fixed.
Hey, sometimes you see that, though. Sometimes, like, you know, you pay... Let's say Danny was up against and they pay the guy to... They pay Danny to lose, but Danny's like, you know,
and Danny shows up to work the next day without a leg. They call him Peg Leg Danny. He's like, "What happened?"
Or something.
I went against the odds.
Ahoy, ladies! I will tell you these stories.
Literally went against the odds.
Against the odds. The Danny Garcia story.
ESPN, what was that? ESPN.
The biopic.
But hey, let me ask you this, guys. Let me ask all of you guys.
I'd watch that shit. No, they actually made a biopic of Danny Harambe.
The whole season was 9 episodes. Danny's.
That's me. No, but let me ask you guys this. Shit, I forgot.
Probably, dog.
I totally agree.
The brain. All right, I got a question. Yeah. What do you guys think of?
Oh no!
Nah, too late, bro. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Go, dude. Let's hear it.
Recently, and Zach, you probably know this story. Maybe some of you guys know it. But there was a player that, NFL player that he was caught betting. He bet money on his own team.
Who was that? I forgot.
Calvin Ridley.
There you go. Yeah, that's why he's suspended.
He's suspended, but now he got traded to. Where did he get traded to, Zach?
Jacksonville.
Okay, so he's going to Jacksonville.
How'd they catch him?
Those are some good odds if you want some.
I have no idea, but what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think of players like betting? Like, it's like, no, I'm not betting against. I'm betting that we're going to win. It's like, it's like, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with that either.
Just confidence that, hey, we're going to fucking win this game.
If you can get caught for it, why don't you be smart and fucking middleman and go give it to your wife? But like, go bet this shit.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's where I don't empathize with that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That was my question. My question was, how do you feel about the UFC fighters not being able to bet on themselves now? Dana's like, nah, you can't do that.
Oh, it's kind of similar. I think that's bullshit.
He just publicly said it. He just was like, fighters can't bet on themselves anymore.
Yeah, nah.
That's not fair and over the top. Dude,
I think it gives people, like the athletes, an extra reason of let's go fucking win, or a UFC fighter, like, let's go kick this dude's ass. Let's go win this fight.
But you already got a lot of money on the line for the match. You got to bet on.
Dude, it's just an extra.
Yeah.
I think. I guess I know it maybe looks a little tacky, but for me, it's like, nah, man. I'm also putting money where my mouth is, and my skills, and my talent, everything I worked for. Why not? I'll put it.
But imagine losing and then losing that bet. Imagine how.
Well, then you're mad about it.
Losing just hurts that much more. But yeah, I think you should be able to bet on yourself. Yeah. I think. It should be illegal to bet against yourself.
Yeah.
That's for sure. The problem right there is if you bet to lose and then you take a dive. Like if Ronda Rousey would have bet on Holly Holm and put hella money into just cash in all that money. Like
it's the most dramatic.
Yeah. On the flip side too. On the flip side too, if you bet yourself to win and you just hold like a position, it's like, I'm just going to win by points.
That too, yeah. I think that's the other side of it. You don't know what a person's going to do just to win that bet,
But also, to speak on Zach's point, like, no one's betting on themselves like that unless they got bread. You know what I mean? Like, the only ones who are out openly saying that is Jake Paul, Conor, fucking Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like, they're the ones who are like, put your money where your money. I mean, like, I might be ignorant. There might be some fighters that are risky, and we'll take a chance on them to double because MMA fighters don't get paid that much. Like in the in the amateur scene, they're probably getting paid like $1,000 to $2,000. You know what I mean? And like the reality of that is like, how often can you really fight? You know what I mean? Like if you go through a war, you're probably fighting once or twice a year, and that's like $14,000 plus your medical bills, plus like your diet and like training and everything. So
medical bills.
If you're Floyd, you could fight like that, fucking
motherfucker, old skyscrapers
two times a month, bro. and when Floyd fights, those aren't $7,000 fights. Those are fucking like $40 million fights, bro. He can. That's the fucking gap of like the pay of like fighters. You know what I mean? Which honestly, let's get into this. Let's get into athlete pay. Who do you think is the most overrated paid athlete? Overrated sport or overpaid sports athlete?
I think it was LeBron James. Is that right?
You think boxing?
Baseball.
Oh, were we talking about sports in general?
Yeah, we're talking about sports. I think because of all the money that's in it, I get where all the money's coming from. But come on, like one fight, you just said it, $40-50 million.
That's like the top of the top of the top.
It's the top of the it's your.
Yeah, motherfuckers do want to see that guy box,
and they want to see him lose.
Dude, I get it, but it's like compared to let's say other sports where
baseball,
dude, that you $50 million, that's one contract, maybe two contracts. You're making it in one fight. That's why I mean it's like.
But I mean to make these,
and then you're watching it. It's for like what the fight's like an hour with the or 48 minutes with the. In between rounds.
But to make these fights happen, they have to have sponsors. So all that money coming in from sponsorships and the advertisement is why they're making that money, because they're pretty much walking billboards in the ring. So that's why they get paid so
but
much,
I mean, for where the question is like the overpaid, and I think it's like for what? Like okay,
I mean, you could die. That doesn't really happen in tennis. You know
could die in any sport.
In tennis?
You could die in any sport.
In tennis.
In golf?
Yeah, what are the ball?
In pool.
Bowling. I don't know, something bad. You could slip and hit your head in the cement.
Dude, my pride died all the time.
What you doing playing golf on the cement?
Cheerleading is actually the most dangerous sport.
I think the patient.
Cheerleading?
I think.
Yeah, motherfuckers gotta recognize, dude.
No, it is. It's hard. It's a hard sport.
Give me a death.
Think about that shit. They toss these bitches like so far there. And
I've seen videos of like them missing a catch and they land on their fucking neck, like straight on their head, and their neck just.
Out of football, basketball, and baseball, who's the most highest paid? Is it basketball, baseball, football?
Soccer, dude.
It's
Look at Cristiano Ronaldo.
Baseball's first.
Yeah, international, not in the U.S.
Oh, okay, so baseball.
Yeah, from those three sports, it's baseball, and it's all guaranteed too. They don't have any like non-guaranteed contracts. Like with whatever they sign for, they're seeing every penny of it, one way or another.
Yeah. Was that one baseball player they made that rule after, where he's still getting paid?
Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think it's $1 million.
What's up?
Tell him about it, Zach.
He signed a deal with I think the Mets, and at the time, like it was a historic deal, and then he deferred like millions of dollars so that way he can get paid an annuity every year. So on the same day every year since he signed that deal, he gets a check from the Mets for $1 million, and I think it runs through like 2030 or something.
And this happened what year? Remember, it was like in the 90s.
Yeah, like I think late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. So till now, he's still collecting a check.
It's called Bobby Bonilla Day. It's all over social media. They always like make fun of the Mets for doing it. He gets paid $1 million for doing nothing now.
Damn! Shout out to his manager.
Well, I mean, he's not doing nothing. He's somewhere on a boat. He's playing golf somewhere. He's not doing nothing.
That's a nice contract you set up, my man.
Yeah, for real.
The Mets baseball. Huh?
He throws parades in his hometown with that money on that day.
Definitely think baseball probably satisfies that like most overpaid argument, because like you got guys in the league that are almost 300 pounds that can barely run to first base, but they can hit 40 home runs. You know, like whereas like you need to be a better athlete in basketball, you need to be a better athlete in football. And there's more money in football too. Like football should have the highest paid athletes. Like the amount of money that sport generates and the amount of sacrifices like these guys have to make.
Football players are lowest.
They deserve.
Yeah. They go home with CTE and shit.
Short season.
Nah, that's bullshit.
It's crazy that even in
how many of these players?
It's crazy that even in sports, like the people with less risk take home the most cash. You know what I mean? It's like work smart.
Yeah, I think tennis players make more than fucking football players.
Some football players. I mean,
Tom Brady,
because you're
like pickleball players are going to be making more.
Like, I'm thinking about like in the MMA world, like to get ready to fight, you've had already gone through like wars and sparring. You know what I mean? So like,
oh for sure,
you got the messed up ears. Your ears look all weird.
I know, man. Like you might have like some fractures in your hand and shit. You're just like kind of fucking putting a poker face. So I mean, like, and they get paid. Like I said, like sometimes coming up, they're paying to get on these cards. You know what I mean? And they're not even like, as far as like medical coverage, they really don't have none. You know, it's out of their pocket if anything happens. Basketball, I feel like would be cool because, I mean, there are some freak accidents like this fucking shit that happened to Paul George, but I mean, like that's not really that common. You know what I mean? But they get taken care of really well. I mean, now that we're having this conversation,
like Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, if I had done it all before, if I could go back, I'd probably try to be serious with baseball, dude.
Can you imagine Jarrell playing baseball?
Yeah, I bust some N1 baseball tricks.
Athletic guy.
You liked baseball when you were a kid, or what?
No, not I like baseball when I was a kid, but I feel like if I put as much energy into mastering baseball like I did in basketball, then hey, fucking probably would have set myself up for you know what I mean? You don't need to be super tall for baseball. Just kind of need like hand-eye coordination.
Well, I mean, for also baseball though.
No disrespect.
But I mean, getting drafted in baseball is like there's so many people getting drafted for baseball, so it's a shit ton of people.
Yeah, you're gonna play in the minors for the next.
Not if you're throwing 120 miles per hour fastballs behind your back, no look and shit while you're looking at third base. You know what I mean?
No one throws
through the legs,
miles per hour.
Trick baseball players
through the legs, pumping 120 miles per hour.
It's pretty damn impressive.
Fucking fire on the ball, like.
About to make a new game called MLB Street.
Blitz.
The catcher's fucking mask flies out from the forest. Have you guys seen
MLB Street with Game Breakers? You remember Game Breakers?
Have you guys seen
they had a game like that. It was called Slugfest.
Have you guys seen Shaolin Soccer?
Fuck yeah, that's just hilarious.
Bro.
That's an Asian movie.
Yeah, that's just hilarious.
It's like Dragon Ball Z.
You know what? To rewind the question, not the question, but the topic, which sport take more serious? I'm gonna have to talk about it again, but it's golf, man.
Yeah. Do you think the LIV, the LIV, the 54, do you think they're overpaying players, or do you think they're finally paying golfers what they're worth?
I think they're paying golfers what they're worth.
It is a fucking hard sport.
They're paying golfers what they're worth, yeah, because people love watching that.
No, but also golf is not easy. Dude, and you could watch Rory have a fucking great day, in the next round, it's shit. You know?
Yeah.
This is true. It's like, how are you going to make the scoreboard now? I thought you were the chosen one.
What
impressed me the most when we went to go see the tournament,
the Genesis,
was that these guys, after playing 18 holes, they went straight to the fucking range and they practiced on what they messed up on.
What I fuck up on?
You know, they just hit a full bucket. It's like, damn, like, yo, like you just finished 18 holes and you're not going to go.
And they walked that shit.
And they walked it. There's no carts. Yeah.
Bros.
But I would have taken golf more serious because that's bank right there.
Oh, he's still shooting at the gym after.
Yeah, there's people like Kobe who played like crazy games and like still shoots in the gym. Like golf isn't that physically exerting, bro.
You were right.
No, but what's called is what Liv is Liv paying golfers a significantly higher salary than PGA? Or what?
Fuck yeah.
Like
No,
crazy,
yeah.
like no brainer.
Yeah, the prize money would live.
Well, oil money.
Fuck yeah.
If you can get to live, get into live.
Dude, okay, so this is how much money they were throwing. They wanted Tiger Woods to join so bad they offered nearly $1 billion to Tiger Woods just to move over.
They just had that.
But he was too loyal to the PGA. So he said, no.
Hanging out. Billy.
I would have left. I'm like, fuck y'all. Y'all discriminated me when I had my first. Like, remember when he got all
right.
And then the Masters like,
y'all weren't there. Yeah, you took me back, but you weren't there.
Yeah, I'll take $1 billion now. And that's guaranteed. He could play like shit and not make any of the tournaments. It's $1 billion.
You didn't say how to actually play.
Yeah,
that's a good fun right there.
Yeah.
Kind of G do you have to be like, but I'm okay. Thanks.
No, I think he's waiting for the PGA to fuck up one more time, and he's gonna be like, "I'm out."
Yo, if I'm Liv,
so he's gonna go.
Yeah, if I'm Liv, I'll be like, "It's $2 million now," you know.
You know, that's what they pocket at the fucking Masters. That's how much they, and that's like the biggest tournament you can go to as a golfer. That's $2 million. And you go to the Live Tour, and these guys are playing, you know, ticky tacky fucking tournaments, and they're making like $100 million.
That's their salary now.
Yeah.
That sucks because to be a golfer, like you have to shelf out a lot of money. You know, you can't be like a broke kid in the
it's all self-funded.
I've always practiced golfing. Like, no, you had money, you know.
But that's why kids like that they look for sponsorships. Mm-hmm. That's how they get up. Yeah,
get that sponsorship.
So there's still ways. You don't have to be rich, but it's just that's just the difference between a rich kid and someone who's coming up from nothing. It's just the kid coming up with nothing has to do more legwork, and the other kid just has money.
I think the money in golfing is in between the players as far as like personal Michael Jordan type bets. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where they make the real money.
Especially when they get paired up.
Oh, when they bet with each other?
Yeah, when they bet with each other.
Like, hey, all right.
Oh, yeah. Tiger.
Hey, they play with different people every day. Yeah. If it's a 4-day tournament, every day they're paired with somebody different. So, yeah, dude.
They're making sacrifice in the clubhouse.
You could see in their faces when they get pissed after a shitty shot, bro. It's like, damn. He's mad, man.
Yeah. It's funny because
I see that with regular people.
Because that putt's $1 million and they just lost it. Like, God damn it.
That's crazy.
For sure, dude.
Don't tell me you ain't going to be mad when you find out you missed that putt. You could make $2 million. Because I'd be like, why is he breaking his clubs? I would never do that. Oh, shit. He just missed out on a couple $1 million.
Run them shits in the bushes. Yeah.
That hurts. That hurts.
What they don't show you off camera is him going after that club. He was like, I need it.
We'll cry in the club.
We glue this back together.
Fuck. But to tie it all in with sports gambling, I mean, I feel like enjoy it now. I feel like later on when it's more commercialized, it's going to get taxed. It's going to be a lot of fucking rules and regulations on it. Right
You're
now.
already getting taxed on it.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Technically, gambling income is taxed.
Wherever you make money, the government wants a piece of that.
Yeah. Just tell them that you do it.
Just enjoy it. That's it. Like you're going to get taxed regardless. So
it's just like Twitter. Enjoy it now.
I know, bro.
Like once they see dick sucking's profitable, they're gonna be like, "Hey, man, I heard you sucked dick last week. Did you put that on your report?"
Yeah.
The DS tag.
Yeah, they just don't know how to tax prostitution quite yet. But
they're looking for ways. So far, the only way to tax it is to arrest you for it.
They found out how to tax weed, though.
Oh yeah, they already kind of figured
it's 30% in California.
Yo, they ruined that shit, bro. They ruined that shit. Honestly, if it wasn't for these trap shops, shout out to these trap shops, I'd quit, dude. It's not worth it, bro.
That shall remain nameless.
literally not worth it.
It's definitely not the same.
Like I'd be smoking legal weed and I get mad. Like, what the fuck? I keep telling people this. If anyone in high school pulled that shit on you, like sold you like a $50 gram that was bunk, we go find that fool after, we'd be like, hey, what was that? And now it was a record though. Yeah.
Now you go back and they're like, sorry, no refund.
Yeah, now you're like, oh, I have one. What was this? This is with my stamp card. Fucking ruin that shit.
I just drove home after I smoked this.
Here, let me max out your stamp card for the next purchase.
Oh my god! Where's the other stuff? The other stuff was good. It's like you're real stoner. So
remember when it first happened? Yeah. But you remember when you were like the whole license thing first started coming in California? We all got it. I remember I'd always go to this one spot called Aloha, and this guy was always barefoot.
I love that.
There was no tax, but it was cash only. Yeah, that guy was always, hey man, you give me some song suggestions, I'll give you a free gram. Okay, here.
It was all
I remember one time too. There was a spot in Garden Grove. I forgot what it was called.
Garden Grove.
It was an older gentleman that helped us out, and then man, like this guy would just be giving you joints just because, like, oh, you're a new patient, like, welcome. As soon as you walk in, he's like, here's a joint. And then you go into the back and then it's like, oh, let me get this and this and that. He's like, okay, you got, good joint. Here's another joint. And as you do your whatever, it's like, oh, he's packing you up. And since you're first time, here's 2 more free joints.
Your name is Danny? Here's some more.
And then
you have a name,
and then
have enough.
And then I don't know. I ended up finding out like that guy's name, and then my old friend and I would call him like Doctor. I'm not gonna say his name, but like, oh, let's go to Doctor
Herbert,
Dr. Bob's, and it's pretty cool because I'll say he had an actual like hand drawing, like there's like a pencil sketch of Muhammad Ali in the office. So I thought that was pretty badass. But it was just funny to see this guy, an older gentleman, maybe like in his 60s.
Like, oh, you drove here today? Here's a joint.
Oh, did you get those joints?
I do it for the youth.
Well, since you got a joint earlier, here's another one.
But definitely the days of the
Rex
med card where you needed the doctor. Yeah, the Rex. Those were good days.
Those were sketchy too when you would get those. Remember, you'd walk in.
Oh man.
I'm anxious. Oh man, I'm so anxious.
What's wrong with you? I can't sleep.
I got back pain. I'm fucking 20.
Right. And when I said I got injured playing football in high school, and it still hurts.
For real.
Oh, here's your cards.
You know what? They're not even listening. They're like, okay, whatever.
They know exactly why you're there.
I remember when I signed up for one, and I was asking the guy. I was all nervous. I was like, "What the fuck's going on in here?" And this guy was like dressed like Indiana Jones, but he's a pediatrician. I was like, what the fuck? This guy's a pediatrician. So I went inside and I was like, hey, yeah. So he's like, so tell me what your, and he started taking my heart rate. He had a stethoscope on me and he had a desk. He had a desk in a room and like a bunch of just files right behind him, just like a bunch of manila folders all stacked. And I remember he was like, all right. He's like, so what do you need for it? I was like, my back hurts and sometimes I can't sleep. And he's like, okay. And so he's writing it. I was like, hey, so how will they know I have this? And he looked at me, he was like, who's they? I was like, this is sketchy. He just signed it and I was on my way.
Damn.
Thanks, Dr. Jones.
Yeah, when I went in, I was nervous too. Fucking, I go in and the chick, like the secretary or whatever, she does my heart rate thing because the room I went into was just a computer and it was like a Zoom call. He was like, hey, what's up? I was like, oh, hey. And he's like, what brings you in? I was like, I have insomnia. Like a question and shit. He's like, okay.
I remember, bro. I got your red card.
Yeah, you did take me.
Was it like $60, right, to get one?
Yeah. It's like 45
I remember because they last. Yeah. It's funny you said that because when I had to renew, I went to another spot because Mr. Indiana Jones was gone. He probably made so much money. He's like in Costa Rica or something. So I went to this, and then this guy's like, he'll see you shortly. Oh, you can step in the room. He'll see you now. And I get it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, it's a small room, and there's a table in front of me. He comes in, he puts a computer right in front of me. He's like, he's going to see you right now. And it's just like this Asian doctor. He's like, oh, what's your problem? I was like, I just have pain. That's literally what I said. And he's like, okay. And he's like, I'm going to tell the guy to write you up right now. I was like, cool.
Going around.
And I was like, this guy's doing this shit at his practice in between appointments in his office somewhere.
Good way to make money. Straight up.
A side hustle.
Serious.
Hey, when the opportunity was there, why not, you know?
I think there's still places that take risks. It just... I feel like you don't need them anymore.
It's got to be state issued now, though. Those state issued ones, and those are the ones where they have like a legit ID with your picture on it. It looks like a mugshot. Good.
So you better be able to fucking drive high with that shit at least. God damn. Imagine.
You can't.
But Gavin Newsom can. Because he can do whatever he wants, apparently.
That guy gets wine drunk and high. He's just doing all the California drugs.
And he lets his Tesla drive him home while he goes to sleep.
Fuck Gavin Newsom.
You guys, I heard he's running for president.
I don't know enough to say that.
I can definitely see him running for president.
I could see him making a good run for president. Sadly.
I'm going to vote for Jerry Springer at this point.
Is he running
I've just heard
too?
of this Caruso guy who says he can take care of
Can you imagine?
He did say he's more focused on the presidential run than his gubernatorial run right now.
His what?
Really? Can you imagine Jerry Springer as our president? That'd be crazy. At the United Nations meeting, he has everyone sitting there interviewing them like his TV shows, and they're all fighting, and he's got an audience.
He's a good speaker.
Damn, he just makes the audience fight.
What does South Korea do to you?
He's fucking... He doesn't even talk.
I bet if Biden and Trump were in Springer, they would have gotten down, and everyone, Jerry, and then you just see Trump.
So you just see Ukraine and Russia duking it out, and they're like, Jerry.
Zelensky.
The United Nations.
I'd be like, hey, this might work.
No.
Hey, did you guys hear about...
he's got his own security guard blocking the
you guys hear about the...
Like, no. Steve Wilkos?
The Russians talking about the super soldiers from Ukraine. You guys read that article?
Yeah.
Like Captain America?
It's like Master Chief.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Captain Ukraine?
I was thinking some like Captain Ukraine shit. But yeah, look, there's an article on Yahoo. Type in like Ukraine, Russia, and like super soldiers. There's an article about like Russian troops being like held down and losing a lot of casualties from these super soldiers from Ukraine. Whether that's like Captain America shit or some fucking drone, you know what I mean? Like a drone soldier. Fucking, I don't know.
You know what reminds me? Because you were talking about Shaolin soccer earlier. Remember when you were training the super players under the... You remember that part in the...
Oh, yeah,
when they had them under in the pool?
Yeah.
In the pool, they're all like just being built. I was like, damn, these guys are some crazy-ass soccer players.
Dude, that movie... Zach, you gotta watch that movie, bro.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's fucking hilarious.
Dude, it's one of the funniest movies. Especially if you don't expect it.
Yeah, it's the same people from Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Dude, the funniest scene from Kung Fu Hustle was when he's like, I'll fight anybody. And like all these big fools start showing up. And they're like, no, somebody else.
Yeah.
He picks on this old dude, and the old dude's like, all right. And he's all buff and shit. So, not you. Oh, man. Those movies are funny, man. I like the Kung Pao, too. Did you guys see Kung Pao?
Chosen one. I'm coming.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
The dog has like a lag when he barks too.
I'm Betty. Remember that?
Damn.
Or the interview. My nip like milk duds. Back then, you could make movies like that. Nowadays, you can't. Everyone's too fucking critical of movies.
It's so nuts, bro.
It sucks. Like, and everyone's like, Rotten Tomatoes said it sucks, so it sucks.
Yeah, DC can't catch a break.
Yeah. No, they can't. But it's also just the way, I mean, I think that's one of the topics Jarrell had, so we could segue into that. DC and Zach is pretty deep into that lore, and I'm a big fan of DC. Well, I like both.
This is where I'll sign out, guys. See you.
What? No, get out. Get back in here, Danny. We're going to school you up.
Yeah, how was Black Adam?
I thought Black Adam was pretty good.
I enjoyed it. Some motherfuckers enjoyed it.
Andrew was awake.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable.
For the second half, yes, I was definitely
stayed awake. And I was like, wow, it must be that good for Andrew that he stayed awake.
It was exciting, yeah. Shit, it was Marvel quality. I like that. Liked it very much.
So did the Rock?
It had its
did the Rock
corny parts.
Did the Rock hit the rock bottom?
I was expecting it, but no.
No, he didn't. Yeah, that was probably my biggest gripe. Like, it was really just like The Rock put on a costume and then just like acted. Like, they just said
really,
action.
That's what it was.
Which, I mean, isn't necessarily bad, but it's like it didn't provide anything extra to the movie. Except Star Power and Henry Cavill, which is
that's right.
Spoiler alert. Henry Cavill's in the end to announce his return as Superman, which is cool.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, he canceled The Witcher. He's just gonna finish season 3 of The Witcher and he's done.
Because that Superman contract's huge, apparently. So.
Oh yeah, but
that's probably the big thing about that.
To kind of get a little off topic, but we'll steer back. With pretty much the writer screwed him over because this is like a character he really wanted because he's a huge fan of the series. Witcher series.
And he actually plays the video games, you know, that's crazy.
And he played the games, he read the books, he knows he's a fan when I say he's a fan. And so me as a fan of The Witcher as well and watching the show sucks. The show sucks. The writing is completely off the books and the game. And this is what I believe why Henry Cavill was like, yeah, I'm done with this. Because he did say, he did mention one time that he's like, I'll do all seven seasons, but that's if the writers stick close to the actual true story. I mean, not the true story, but the actual story. And they're just steering off. So I think he was just like, no.
The show wasn't good. I remember I tried watching. I was like, nah, I can't do this shit.
It sucks.
No, I like Cavill though. He's a great actor.
Dude, you know, Henry Cavill's like one of us, which is cool. He's a regular dude, and he likes to build his PC and game. That's what he likes to do.
Yeah, man.
My whole childhood, I grew up just being a diehard Batman fan, and I remember after Man of Steel, that's when I was like, whoa, Henry Cavill brought something really nice to Superman that made me actually like Superman for a change. Him and Zack Snyder, I think, did a really good job with that movie, and then how we talked about earlier, the critics just panned it, and that was, for whatever reason, that's spooked Warner Brothers, and it started this whole shitstorm of.
But you know why that happens, though, right? If you look at these reviews, it's all pretty unfair because it's always Marvel this, Marvel that. They're not giving DC a fair shake. I can understand Batman versus Superman, as cool as it was to see those two on.
I sucks, bro. Because DC sucks. I'm just gonna be honest. We keep thinking about.
I think DC's better than Marvel. I'll say it right now.
We keep trying to as far as how the most recent Batman was, everyone's like, it was good. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, nah. Yes or no. You know what I mean?
No, I thought it was good. I mean, but that's also because I've seen so many of those animated movies that were dark like that. That's why I appreciated it, you know? But then people are like, it's too dark. It's like, well, I mean, that's kind of
DC's Batman, right?
That's really
they're expecting a superhero movie, like good happy ending. No, like that's not what Batman is. So
literally the
parents are dead, man.
I mean, it sucks that DC just didn't take Joker on, because the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix was good. And
I mean, we got that musical with Lady Gaga now. So
I know, right? I like the second Suicide Squad was good. And I like Peacemaker was pretty cool too,
and obviously James Gunn.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah. I think the fact that James Gunn is now taking over, there's a good chance that DC can, make something worth watching now.
Right.
And I think that's what it needs. DC needs to have that friendly. It's like Apple, like user friendly. They need DC to become like user friendly, I guess, for the people who don't. Because a lot of people who came in doing the DC movies were kind of like taking it to like shit that only comic book or like people who followed DC before will appreciate, and people are like, what the fuck is this? The casuals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, and that shows like that's the problem with how it was set up, was because the old regime in Warner Brothers didn't understand. So like that's why they had to cut these films, because they just wanted to make money. They didn't care about the story or anything. They didn't want an R-rated movie, so they gutted Batman vs Superman. But I think like with them creating DC Studios, I hope that they really treat it like Marvel Studios and just give them the freedom to make the movies, because that's going to be the best solution to their problem, is just letting the people that they hire do their job. It's like simple. You hire these writers, you hire people that care about these characters, let them make these movies. We should get a good product. It's just like, I want to cross topics, but like crossing into like wrestling now, you got, Triple H took over for Vince, and the product's better because he's a fan and he cares about like what he's putting on there on screens, and not just making money. Like you can make money and have fun and have a good product at the same time. And I hope DC really does that. I think James Gunn is a good person to head that new era. So I'm excited for sure.
Yeah, it's hard.
We got Henry Cavill back.
I think Henry Cavill back is good. I think Henry Cavill is kind of like Robert Downey Jr. is, as far as a perfect cast for the character. Because, I mean, I would put Henry Cavill as Superman as perfectly a match as Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. They can't let that go. And I mean, I was kind of worried that they killed him off in Justice League. So I feel like The Rock had something to do as far as getting him back into the DC. So shout out to The Rock for that.
Well, they have the same agent, that's why.
Yeah. But I was talking.
But I remember when the whole rumor was that.
Go ahead. I had the.
I remember when. Let me finish the Superman bit then.
For sure.
You don't remember when like the rumors that Henry Cavill was going to be done and they were going to replace him, and Walter Hamada, who's the guy who was fucking up the DC universe, that's the guy, that's his name, and now he's gone. But his name is Walter Hamada, and like he wanted to change the Superman story, and he hired like obviously a director of color, and they were going to change Superman to black, and they wanted Michael B. Jordan to play Superman, and it was like, no, what the fuck is this?
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I had the guys from pulling these podcasts on, and we were talking about how DC didn't really have a head person like a Kevin Feige, Marvel, like an overhead seer, So it's almost what happened with Star Wars, where people just kind of hot potato off the movies, and it's like, oh shit, I want to take it this direction. Shit, let's kill him off. I don't know what I'm about to do next, but here you go, bro. Like, make it interesting. And it just, to satisfy the audience after so many weird takes on the story, it's kind of hard to bring it all together as far as a concluding movie, or like the Justice League movie where they're gonna have to introduce everybody, or like, you know what I mean, their big movie. So if you're James Gunn, do you start over? I mean, you obviously build off what it is right now, but the thing with Justice League is people were like, oh, they're trying to be like Marvel. So you don't want to be like, just because there's a head person, you don't want to like get caught in that, right? Or you just fucking go do it.
Yeah. I think you stick to what works. And I kind of like said this to Zach before, like, why not do what fucking Marvel's doing? It's fucking working. They're hating on DC regardless. They're gonna say, oh, Marvel's they're already doing it before that. So it's just like, and granted, Marvel set the stage and they kind of set the bar high, and that's fair. Like, I'm going to give them their credit, but I think there's also room for another comic universe to make their movies, and I don't see why people got to hate on it or get mad at each other. It's like, if you like it, you like it, whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. I think DC has a unique opportunity to reboot with this Flash movie.
Mm.
And really, like,
they got to reboot Ezra Miller first because he's a
such a liability.
I think we got a Flashpoint Paradox version of Ezra Miller because it's not.
They really have a unique opportunity to use that movie to catapult into whatever James Gunn wants to do, in my opinion. Because that movie is still so far from release. Like, they can do some post credits and do whatever they need to do to get to the next phase.
And Ben Affleck signed on for another 3 movies, so let's see what happens with that.
Man, I want to see Michael Keaton. Honestly, like,
he's that J-Lo money.
I think Michael Keaton should do the Batman Beyond thing that they're.
We wanted that for years, man. Talking about that in high school.
The vegan Batman.
They missed out on making Robert Pattinson the
I don't fit animals.
I think he would have been cool to do that storyline.
I'm not gonna kill you.
Batman Beyond would be dope on the big screen.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Be a cool way to bring Christian Bale back.
He said he would, but only if Christopher Nolan comes up with something good. But Nolan's like, I'm done with that shit.
Hey,
he's done with Warner Brothers.
You guys seen
movies on HBO Max?
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the new Thor?
I have not seen it yet.
Never mind.
I mean, you can spoil it. I don't give a fuck. It's just the interest. I don't know. Like, I wasn't all that interested in it. Like, I liked the other Thors, and then just when this one came, I was like, eh.
It was cool. It's just
to me, all those movies are the same, man.
Danny,
that's not true.
What's your favorite movie, Danny?
To me, because I don't. I'll tell you, the last Marvel movie I saw, like, from beginning to end,
Spider-Man 3.
X-Men.
So you're fucking
Spider-Man
3. Actually, no. It was. Is Deadpool's Marvel?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I saw
okay,
Marvel, Fox Studios.
But not really in there. Like, I mean, like, if you want to talk about, like,
let's talk about this
Iron
universe.
Man 2.
Okay.
Jeez, Iron Man 2?
Damn.
Man.
Yeah, it just doesn't catch my attention. It's like these Marvel movies. I mean, to be honest, DC calls it's a little more intriguing to me because I like darker settings, like darker,
like Watchmen,
kind of stories. Yeah, exactly.
Watchmen.
So that's what intrigues me a little more about DC. Whereas Marvel, it's like, oh, the happy guy. Here you go. Like, yeah. Like,
he hasn't seen
like,
Logan, bro.
I can't relate to that.
He hasn't seen Logan, bro.
Huh?
Logan was tough. And I heard this
Logan is the craziest
it just
Marvel
looks
movie.
so cheesy to me, honestly. It just looks so cheesy.
Logan.
Oh, you know what? I see where Danny's point is, though. Like, I remember when Iron Man came out, the first one, I was like, dude, this is tight because it had like action and it felt serious. And then obviously when Disney bought Marvel after Iron Man 1, I believe, or Iron Man 2.
Well,
they bought it after
Fox, I believe. And
the first movie that they released was Avengers 1.
Yeah, so
Avengers 1.
Yeah, so I remember, like, you kind of saw the different change, and you could see a lot of Disney's kind of influence on the movies, and that's where I kind of see, like, where people say, it's whatever, So I see Danny's point, but I mean, there was a lot of good stories in there, and and obviously Disney has the money to push out special effects, so it was cool to watch. But people like Captain America movies, I was like, they were okay at best,
What?
The first Avenger,
What?
The first Avenger, I only liked the first Avenger. That was it. The very first Captain America. Everything else, the Winter Soldier.
What?
Yeah, Winter Soldier was one of the most badass action movies that Marvel put out.
You know why they liked it though?
Zach, should I kick these guys out of the podcast? What the fuck?
The CGI was amazing.
Hold on.
No story. Fucking.
No, I mean, okay. I think Civil War was better than fucking Winter Soldier. To be honest,
Really?
The only thing that made Civil War good was the fucking
Iron Man.
Was Iron Man and Cap being, at the end where he killed his parents. But I thought they kind of pushed everything too fast. Like Spider-Man was just
They did that storyline. It is just an injustice, in my opinion, because that could have been so much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should have been. So that's why I hoped for like Secret Invasion and Secret Wars. Like that's what they're building to right now. I'm stoked. But Civil War, that was my biggest complaint against it. It wasn't as big in scale as it should have been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of cool shit in there. Like, I mean, that was his first Spider-Man introduction with Tom Holland. You got Ant-Man in there. Like, it was dope. Like, don't get me wrong, but man, that could have been so much bigger.
Yeah, it seems.
Yeah, I feel like Ant-Man doesn't get all the love. I like his movies. Ant-Man movies are great.
They're entertaining. They're funny too. They're kind of like their own brand of Marvel movies, I think, too.
Exactly.
But I think Marvel tries to they compensate for steering off like the source and under delivering by the star factor. Like, you know what I mean? They put Black Panther and they fucking put Spider-Man into this one. You know what I mean? Like, the original Civil War was super crazy. Nothing compared to what we saw, but Tom Holland, though.
Yeah, you had the mutants.
Yeah, I mean, the original Civil War, you had the Confederates. Just kidding.
Hey, you're going way back.
No, but yeah, I think also Marvel's becoming like what the new Star Wars. It's just overly saturated with so much shit. Mm-hmm. Disney Plus, She-Hulk. I tried to watch. I was like, nah.
No offense. Yeah, I can get into it.
Yeah, it was like I thought they could like. It wasn't. It's just like I looked at her. I was like, really? It just looked like they just threw some green makeup on her, and that was it.
He's wearing green right now.
Like that's it. Hey, nothing special.
Would you beat though?
She'd beat my ass. What you talking about?
She hit me.
Yeah. I would have no choice if she walked in the room. It's like we fuck it up, like, and we make it quick. That's the only thing I could say.
God damn. Oh shit. Well, shit. Let's talk about it since we segued there a little bit. Triple H being the head of WWE for a bit, dude. I thought AEW had the trophy as far as the top wrestling brand was, just because they were starting to pick up, momentum was going. Plus, they were just picking everybody. ROH, New Japan, like they were starting to be a monopoly themselves. And then fucking, are you ready?
And then what happened? Yeah, then what happened?
And then it was time to play the game, bro. It was time to play the game.
Man, I've always said with AEW, like, they got potential. They obviously got financial backing. They got the fan base that has been, quote unquote, ignored for years. Mm-hmm. But for me, it was until they sell at a stadium, like, not like Arthur Ashe, but like SoFi or, AT&T Stadium, until they put a show there, like, it's not competition for WWE. However, man, they were selling out everywhere they were going. So that was dope. I went to I think I mentioned this in one of our chats, but I went to the show at the Forum, the June 1st of like the West Coast debut of AEW. Mm-hmm. That was one of the funnest shows I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And they definitely were heating up, and yeah, man, those Vince accusations came out, and Trips took over, and they've been on a roll.
I think that Vince stuff was just part of the storyline.
Like, wrestling's been so hot for the last 3 months.
Dude, it's back.
Like, since Trips took over, every single night of the week, it's like you got something to watch, and there's something good to watch on every single program.
For real, man. Like, it hasn't really been like this since like the Attitude Era, where I felt like it was really hot because during the 2002, 2003 years of wrestling, WWE had already taken over. They already bought out WCW, so there was only one brand to watch, you know. But back then in like the 97, 99, you had the WCW and the WWF at the time going at it. So
ECW on like, it was on what, Speed or something?
Yeah.
I remember tuning into that.
USA, I think, or something.
USA? Yeah. But I mean,
I
like,
it was on late night. It was like
I had to sneak that show before bed.
For real?
Like, my mom coming, hey, you gotta go sleep. Sorry.
Yeah.
But like, to your point on that, early 2000s, like what they had going for them was when they did buy WCW, like you got to see slowly these stars come over that didn't come over right away. So that invasion angle was not what it should have been. But then you get NWO the year after that. You get Goldberg coming in not after Mania with The Rock. Like they were slowly building to some things, and then you had Cena and Orton. But at that point, like we were all getting older too. Like we stopped watching, because everyone else was stopping watching. Like no one was really talking about it no more.
Yeah,
which sucked. But now it's like, I mean, I got my son into it. Like we're always watching wrestling. I get to watch it with him and like to see that stuff, like see how he's enjoying it. It reminds me of when I was a kid too, and it's good now. Like it's not just something that I have on in the background. Like wrestling's good again. And it's been awesome.
Yeah. Zach's throwing his son across the room and shit.
And
not anymore, dude. Not anymore.
The Heat isn't like too R-rated. I feel like back in the Attitude Era, you watch that shit back, and it's like, man,
how did it get on TV?
Yeah, I know we say
I wasn't allowed to watch WWF.
Really?
I'd have to sneak that shit, bro. Yeah, because it was too like. Because I'd watch wrestling with my old man back in the day, and
dude
like
from the clinic?
WWF stuff was just too. Like, he's like, that's just too much. Like, no. So I mean, that's why I did watch WCW, and that's why I did like. I mean, but to me, like, I like the more technicality of the. There was more lucha style in WCW and more technical moves compared to like in WWE, where it's just like,
Yo.
Danny growing up in a church household, he's like, WCW means World Christian Wrestling.
But I don't think the invasion. I said terrible about the invasion angle. I don't think it was terrible, but I just don't think that they gave a lot of those guys that came over. They gave them a good shot.
No, because he threw Stone Cold on their side. Like you can't do that. Like they had to throw Stone Cold and Kurt Angle over on the other side so that way they can balance it out because it was so unbalanced because he didn't have Sting or.
Yeah, you didn't because of their other contracts where they're like, oh, you mean I get paid without working? Okay, yeah, sure.
Vince was like,
but like one guy like DDP, I mean, I know Jerizi, he's not a huge fan of DDP, but I love
double penetration.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Yes, I know Diamond Dallas Page.
And he before The Rock would call himself the People's Champ, Diamond Dallas Page called himself the People's Champ in WCW. And he did mention, I saw this on the YouTube video not long ago, where he would have liked when they did the crossover to have been a People's Champion versus a People's Champion against The Rock. But he doesn't think, I mean, not that he doesn't think, but I don't think, and a lot of fans don't think he was given a good opportunity to come up. I mean, like his storyline with Undertaker being a stalker, like, no one's gonna like that angle, and now you're just looked down upon, like, dude, you're just a stalker. And
bro, 10-year-old Zach loved that angle.
You did?
Yeah, dude, I loved it.
Now, see, 10-year-old, but I don't know. He never bounced after that, and I don't think they gave him a good.
Well, I think it's because he got hurt. Like, I think he got hurt in that feud, if I remember correctly. But I remember him from what was that movie? Ready to Rumble.
Oh, okay.
You guys saw that?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, so I wasn't in the WCW like I was not watching it like I was WWF.
Same.
But friends' houses we'd go to, they had like WCW, NWO Revenge, so we play those games, and like when the Radicals came over, that was pretty cool. But I didn't know who any of them were. Like I barely knew who Chris Jericho was. So for me, like yeah, I know I was all WWF.
Chris Jericho made the move. I was like, what? Like what?
I was too young into it, man. I wasn't as into it yet, and so for me, like that invasion stuff was cool, but looking back on it, it was not what it should have been. Like that should have been just like Civil War with Marvel, like same thing. It should have been bigger.
Yeah, they should have had the big guys like Sting, Nash.
Yeah,
well, Nash came later on. Big
awesome.
A lot of those guys, man.
Scott Steiner.
Yeah, WCW was always the other guys to me too. I was always WWF, and fuck, dude, I was such a big Shawn Michaels fan, so I was pissed that he kind of took the back seat because of that injury. I think I'm cute at the peak of the fucking Attitude Era. Sexy.
It's all about.
It's all about started. He'll fucking sing the whole song.
Bro, I'm wearing the pants right now.
It's all about sexy cream.
Sexy cream. Oh man. But yeah, fucking.
You need that sweet chin music, man.
Yeah, but like now watching with your kid, you know what I mean? The heat isn't as crazy. Like it's still some pretty hot heat. Like they turn it up, make it kind of intense, but it's not so like, oh, I want to fuck your wife type of heat, like the weird shit that Kurt Angle was doing back.
Or no, remember that shit they do where they had the bed in the ring and they'd have to do it in the ring. Remember that shit? Like that was. I remember watching it on TV. I was like, "What the fuck? They really do this on TV with Stacy Keibler? She's under the bed."
Fucking mom comes in. Hey, I'm just watching wrestling.
See, now it seems like AEW is taking the darker angle compared to WWE. WWE's like the more family friendly.
They're blending in the reality
like
now.
Personal.
Yeah, they're trying to get personal.
Yeah.
AEW.
Are you when they called out Jungle Boy Jack Perry? And he called out his dad's Luke Perry.
We were saying some crazy shit with him.
Yeah, he's like your dad's dead. Like, damn, bro, like that's fucked up.
Yeah. He would talk to him and then be like, nope, down there. Freaking Christian was going off. It was wild, man. And then
Moxley, they called him out for it because he's a recovering alcoholic. And then they called him out on it.
I think MJF did, yeah, for sure. He gets nuts too on the mic. And MJF is probably, he's to me, he's the one thing that I don't think Tony Khan can afford to lose, from the roster. I think he has to keep MJF. He's the best asset they got.
He's nuts.
He's the guy.
Get nuts. Okay,
he's the guy. Like Hulk Hogan was for WCW and WWF back in the day. Like Stone Cold was. Like The Rock was. Right now for AEW, it's MJF.
You know what? You see that too because I feel like currently you see it right now. If MJF didn't come back and he's not as hot as he is, I think they would have really tried to get CM Punk to stay. But I feel like since they kind of went all in on MJF, they got Kenny Omega back. They're like, whatever. But just kind of keep with the core.
What was that promo last week with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega?
Happening again tonight too. I think it's just their tease of them coming back, but they're erasing them from history, or that's what the vignette looked like. Was it was.
Well, the one thing they were saying is because it shows the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega disappearing, and at the end it shows AEW disappearing. It's like if Young Bucks and Omega disappear, then AEW. There's no AEW without them, kind of thing.
Yeah, which is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you guys say AEW, I just think
of Cody Rhodes back.
ANW.
I know, but
ANW. That root beer sucks. Yeah, I think also one of the things, like not just WWE getting better though, like to make their product stand out more, was like that Punk media scrum was. I thought it was a shoot at first, or it was a work at first.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I had to kind of build towards something new, and that's just awful. Like
it was random, man.
It was random, right? It was weird. It was so weird, and it overshadowed MJF's return, which was like, you can't do that. And Tony just sitting there and kind of just letting it happen. It was awkward to watch.
That's why it seemed like a work, because you just see Tony sitting there and nodding his head like,
Tony's
okay,
so weird,
this must
Tony's
be
a weird, bro. He's a weird dude.
He's a weird guy.
And yeah, I thought so too. And fuck, man, like now it's coming out that there was a brawl after, and this was real drama. Like,
yep. Someone got bit. A chair was thrown. A dog got hurt. Like, what?
For real, right?
Wild.
Eat him mad now.
It sucks because.
Let me ask you this, guys: if this shit happened in the 90s, would it be a big deal like it is right now, or would they like, nah, it's just part of the business? Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Go take care of it in the locker room, you know? Kind of thing.
They'll take care of it.
The screw job with Brett and Sean. That shit did happen. Vince got punched.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, yo, like, go handle your business. All right. Squash. Done.
Yeah. I mean, you just have freaking Undertaker show up and he just squash it all. He was the leader. But like, that's what comes with social media nowadays. Like, you get to see this stuff unfold, you know? Like, I know there's a comment about MJ, you know, back in the day. Like, if there was Twitter and social media back in the day when MJ was playing, yeah, he probably wouldn't have what he has now, man. Like, his career would have been so different. So, you know, with this backstage wrestling stuff, I think like it's nice to be able to be in the know of certain things like dirt sheets, but it's also, you know, it can hurt a promotion. And luckily, you know, AEW's been able to recover from it. But that was like, they dominated the headlines, you know, CM Punk and the Elite for weeks, and it should have been about MJF's return. And
yeah,
that's, you know, one of the downfalls of social media.
CM Punk's been known to be selfish like that. No, I've heard.
Nah.
You don't think so?
You think he did that just because
I'm
about to say.
Like,
my spider sense is tingling.
I'm like, you don't say, really? Nah. I know there's talks about him going back to WWF or WWE, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if he's that petty.
To like, do what though? He's not gonna mess with the tribal chief, bro.
Make hella money. He doesn't have to,
bro.
If he does not have to mess with money.
He's gonna try to get the title. It's not just gonna be about money. I feel like Punk has an ego.
Of course he is.
Especially
he does.
Being the guy he is now, he's not trying to make a name for himself now. He has a name coming in, so he's gonna go for the title. But he's got to acknowledge. He's got to acknowledge the head of the table, bro.
These bloodline segments on like these last few months have been so entertaining. It's pretty incredible to watch.
It's funny because I'm watching. I've been watching Young Rock and seeing.
Mm-hmm. Great show.
Yeah, I love that show, right? And seeing like seeing him develop his character, not knowing whether to be the heel or the baby face, and not knowing what kind of heel to be, and kind of just seeing that with Roman Reigns. You know, I feel like Roman Reigns he's in his stride right now, and I don't see him.
Sure,
it's hard not to be his character without being the champ and without the bloodline and all the belts and shit. So I feel like they're gonna keep him as the head of the table. They have to.
Man, it's getting to a point now where I thought, you know, a few months ago that it was just like Cody's gonna have his Mania moment. He's gonna win a title.
Yeah,
over Roman WrestleMania, right? But I almost think you got to put that shit on Sammy, dude. Like, Sammy's been, that's the work he's been putting in. Like, it would make sense if he was to implode that shit from within. I mean, he's acting hella oozy right now, dude. Like, You have to get into that, dude. Sammy's been killing it. But this Roman stuff, it's amazing, like how different this is with him compared to what it was a couple years ago. Like, people hated him because of how much he was shoved down. Mm-hmm. But you turn him heel and you give him an edge, and you start thinking like this might have been what Cena could have done. At the end of his face run when he was getting booed too. Like, if they would have turned him heel, this could have been Cena. It's crazy.
Dude, my favorite John Cena moment Danny showed me was that one match. Who was he fighting? RVD? John Cena versus RVD.
Oh,
came out with his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Dude, he took his t-shirt, Jermaine. He threw it to the crowd, and the crowd threw it back at him. And so he took the shirt and he threw it in another section, and they threw it back at him.
And he threw it in another
section. It happened like 2-3 times.
Spat on it and threw it back.
Those ECW crowds were nuts.
The whole damn. I remember I had the thumbs. Remember the RVD thumbs? The whole damn show.
That's funny. All right.
Yeah, they had those 5-star frog splash. Oh. Who was the one with the fucking cane stick? Tommy
Dreamer.
Sandman.
Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
The guy always walked in with the fucking cane and would just smack people in the back.
That's funny. All right.
Wrestling's just not as entertaining to me. I mean, the matches are cool, but the storylines, I don't know. Why aren't the storylines as good?
That's not very easy of you to say, Jermaine.
Okay. Know your role is shut your damn mouth.
I think with AEW, I think they just hop off storylines too quickly, Like I said, it's weird to defend the title so much when like I was telling Danny, it's weird when you have a pay-per-view on Saturday or Sunday. Let's say Jon Moxley versus Chris Jericho, and on Rampage he's defending the title against Penta. It's like, oh shit, is Penta gonna win? I don't know. It's like, why even do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. They definitely got to get more protective of these matches, though, for sure. Like, you can't be having that title match on the weekend, night before you have on their weekly show you have a title match. Definitely got to be more protective, because then it's not predictable. I mean, it's too predictable.
Yeah. I think defending the title, I wouldn't say weekly is. I mean, I like that. Like, okay, you're defending the title, but I do agree that there's got to be some build up to it, at least a little bit. It doesn't have to be a full storyline where it's like, yo, wait till the fucking pay-per-view. No, like, yo, if it's maybe like a little brawl that happened maybe for a week and a half, all right, make it happen, whatever. But I do like the idea that the champion's actually defending the title instead of just going up against having matches, but they're non-title matches. No. Like, yo, you have that shit, put that shit on the line.
Yeah, Jade Cargill hasn't defended that shit in forever, dude.
She's kind of injured right now.
She hurt? She's not hurt.
She's not. She's wrestling, but the thing is that I remember watching one match, and what happened is the other girl, she jumped from inside the ring, and you know how fucking huge Jade is. The idea was Jade was supposed to just catch her and then just fucking throw her, whatever. But when she caught her, it seemed like it hurt her leg because the rest of the match, man, like her hamstring was just out, and you could just see it in her face, fucking like she was in pain, man.
Yeah.
And and she took maybe a week or two off. She didn't do anything, and then she came back, but it hasn't been the same.
AEW, man, they be botching day and night.
There was a botch tonight too. There was a botch tonight with Chris Jericho and what's his name?
Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana. Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
interesting they brought him back.
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
Yeah, with the punky.
Look.
Yeah.
Well, this was a fun pod, to be honest. It was like, I mean, we're all homies outside, so it just felt like a hangout. But
yeah,
I think it's time to wrap it up. It's getting, well, what time is it? It's like
Third.
I don't know what Zach's curfew is, but you know.
Whatever this podcast is, man.
Oh, okay.
Yo, so let's end with favorite WWE finisher. Or not WWE finisher, wrestling finisher. If you were a wrestler, what would your finisher be? I'm gonna start. Yeah, bro. It's fucking sweet chin music, baby. I could pull that shit from anywhere. And the reversals on that, limitless, bro. So I gotta go with the sweet chin music.
I think I'm gonna go with the only one that I've ever actually taken. Because you remember back in the day we used to like wrestle each other and shit. Like, man, I got hit with a pedigree one time. I almost knocked out, dude. So like that, I'm gonna go with that pedigree. That thing's no deal.
You took a real pedigree.
Idiot. I was a kid. I was a dumb kid. We were wrestling. I was like, yeah, fine. So I took it. Almost broke my neck.
Yeah. Jeez.
I'd probably do a Scorpion Death Drop. I mean, Sting is my
I'll go with Swanton Bomb.
I did a Swanton Bomb on you.
I know.
Check it out on the K page.
Every time he fucking does it, it's like, oh shit, Swanton Bomb. And then the twist of fate. Oh man.
That's funny.
Delete.
There's a lot of good moves though. There's a lot of 619 was great.
A lot of finishers.
Hurricane Rana.
People's elbow.
The OG Hurricane Rana.
People's elbow.
The overly dramatic, the angle lock. Remember how The Rock would sell that shit? That shit was always funny to me, how he would sell that angle lock.
Rock was the best at selling, man. He was the best.
Oh, the stunner?
Yeah, but no, the angle. Oh, the center too, but the angle lock. Remember when every time Kurt Angle get him in that angle lock, The Rock's face, he's like,
his hands reaching out.
Yeah.
Try to get the rope.
Yeah.
So good, dude.
I heard this story about the People's Elbow. I guess it was like a Sunday Night Heat or like a one of these house shows.
Sunday Night Heat.
It was like The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, and whoever. But The Rock and Triple H were having like a bet between themselves of who can make Undertaker laugh by like doing stupid shit and like overselling in the ring. And so The Rock's like, check this out.
Yeah.
And he did the People's Elbow. And he used that as a finisher. And I guess like Undertaker cracked a little bit. So he ended up just running with that as a finisher.
People must have loved it too at the house shows. Like,
dude, you could get so dramatic with that shit. Because I remember the big pay-per-views with The Rock, when he'd lay people down, get in the head, and it'd just be subtle. He just looks down, you know, or like,
dude, and then they would zoom out.
Yeah, it'd zoom out.
When you kick your arm in.
So epic. You already knew what time it was.
Or he'd get in that squat until you turn around and he gives you that rock bottom.
I sell that shit too. Get all animated with it.
His face.
Scorpion King, man, he's so good.
Epic.
Every time he came out of the ring with standing at the top, like, what you smelling, dog? It's like you're asking us a free smell of shit. Do you smell it? Because
I'm cooking something. Do you know what I'm cooking?
No. Obviously, you don't either because you try so hard to smell it.
Shit's comedy.
Oh, yeah. F5 was a nice one, too. I remember when Brock Lesnar would hit the F5. I was like, oh, that shit was dope.
Yeah. He's just tossing Spike Dudley around like it's
I was
nothing.
kind of hoping he'd do that in UFC. Just pick someone up and real.
Dude, can you imagine trying that on
Spike,
King Velasquez?
man. I wonder how that guy's doing now. How's his back and his head?
Spike Dudley?
Yeah. Who got fucked up so many times.
Yeah, Spike
man.
got fucked
Hey, you
up.
guys got videos of Scotty Too Hottie doing like backyard wrestling now?
Dude,
I'm not surprised.
There was
Irvine,
there was like a small crowd. I was like, wow, Scotty Too Hottie is really.
Irvine Spectrum has a wrestling league. I think they go like every Tuesdays or every Thursdays.
What?
Yeah. They set up a ring. They set up a ring in the Improv. And they have wrestling over there. But Carlito,
We gotta do a live
and
podcast there.
Gangrel was over there. I guess they were over there.
Gangrel. We need Viscera next.
Mr. is dead, dude.
Oh shit!
Wait,
Rest
really?
in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. Big Viz. Yeah, we definitely gotta check that out.
Yeah, we gotta
We should
go
do a
check
live
that shit out.
podcast from there.
And it's
We're just commentating.
anywhere you sit is a good seat because it's pretty close and intimate. It's like an improv
the
show.
improv, yeah. Hell yeah.
Next time too, Lucha Brothers they hold events like every 3 months. They have a store in Pasadena called Republic of Lucha, and in the back they'll put up a ring. And I took my dad for Father's Day. I invited Jarrell, did I?
Yeah,
I think you were
I was
working
busy
that
though.
day. And so, dude, it was fucking awesome, man. And there were some AEW stars that were there. Dante Martin fought that night. Thunder Rosa fought that night. Penta, Ray Phoenix, and then a lot of AAA wrestlers too. It was pretty dope.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know that they did that out here.
Yeah. I'll shoot you. When they announce the next one, I'll let you know, man. Because
Sure,
maybe
dude.
we can all go. Because it's fun, man. It's watching wrestling live.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's nothing like it, dude. There's nothing like it.
You just talk shit, man. It's so fun.
My dad used to tell me stories of like at the LA Sports Arena, and back when he was a kid, he used to watch like Classy Freddie Blassie and like Jimmy Snuka, and he used to tell me that like the old grandmas that would take like their grandkids to go watch it, they would even like talk shit to the wrestlers, and they would talk back, and like it was a whole
Yeah.
like, that's nuts, dude. Just imagine those old ladies just yelling shit like.
Dude,
I love
it's
it,
what you
man.
pay
That's why-
for. It's what you pay
Yeah.
to talk your shit. You know, like, let's go.
You don't pay to sit on your hands, man. You got to cheer, and that's part of the show.
Yeah.
Remember when they would fucking throw Linda and May into a table?
Oh,
Dog,
for real.
Bubba used to destroy me. From the
Seriously.
seat onto a table.
They show up in the next with a neck brace. Like, I was like, damn, this old lady's going hard.
And looking back now, I was like, dude, she took it for the team, man.
She got put through a table when she
Vince was like, Linda,
yeah,
you're going through the
she
table
got put through
tonight.
Linda.
Listen, Linda, we're running low on our story.
Wild.
You got to do it or you're fired.
Our ratings are low, or I divorce you.
Linda,
That's funny, dude.
Spike's hurt. We need you.
We're putting you through a table. What?
We put Stephanie through one last week. It's your turn.
Vince was nuts, man. They had her comatose for like months, and he was like cheating on her with Trish Stratus, and then like right in front of her.
Yeah. Remember they had her in a wheelchair too, and they were just
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. The signs were there, man. The signs been there for
real.
decades.
Vince cheating on you, girl.
Oh, for sure. She knows it too, but I mean,
You
come
made her
on,
part
to
of the
be
story.
part of the
Yeah.
business and the money and everything. It's like, what?
Supposedly they've been separated for a while, so
They probably
I
have,
don't know.
man.
the whole that's
She got tired of being thrown in the table at home.
Yo, can you imagine? Vince McMahon is all elite.
I'm sick of your shit. Throws her to a table. Comes.
Vince McMahon becomes AEW. No chance.
Dude, that's great.
Vince McMahon is all elite.
Oh my god.
He does his no chance.
Oh, that little walk he has. That's after he throws Lindo into a table. That's how he's walking to his mistress's house.
Oh, jeez.
Hunter, I made the move.
Hunter.
I'm all elite. I'm all elite, Hunter. Are you?
The funniest videos on YouTube, the compilation of just Vince McMahon saying "You're fired."
No, the best McMahon, and we've talked about it, is when he tore his glutes. He's just sitting in the middle. He's just sitting in the ring like.
The Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You couldn't get in the ring. Stand up and got in the ring and just sat there.
Do this. If you haven't, Andrew Jermaine, if you haven't seen it, not Google, YouTube it. Vince McMahon Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That shit was funny.
Tear his quads.
Yeah, both of them same time. Like unheard of, dude. He's just trying to get into the ring.
God damn it! Tries to keep character, but he's playing so much pain at the time.
Help me.
Oh, shit.
Help me or you're fired.
Man.
All right.
That's a wild dude.
Thanks for coming on, Zach.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Everybody, see you on the next one.
All right.
Peace out.
Yes. Good having you, Zach.
Later, boys.
Take care.